thief?
Bill, my friend, we are just about to pull up. You want to come hang out and hit some golf balls with us?
Hit it right here. Sorry.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Aaron and I are making some terrible turn decisions here.
I misdirected him, so we won't let the kids think that that's a good way to actually drive.
What's up, Bill? What happened, Aaron? How you doing, man? What's going on in your life today, Bill?
So today is Parker's 18th birthday. He's
What?
8 years
And you're hanging out with us?
HBD.
He did have to go to school today. He didn't
good.
get a free day, so.
Yep. So, Bill, can you tell us a little bit about your life? Tell us about who you are, your background, what you were like as a middle schooler, all that.
Can you tell I'm from the South because I talk like I'm from the South? Some people say they hear my Southern accent, but I'm from Pensacola, Florida. But I was a very good little boy. I was like, everybody called me, okay, now you can't tell anyone this. This is like a super secret that I never tell anyone. But everyone called me Billy, not Bill.
Oh.
Does the dog have a person with it?
Look at this.
By the way.
Look at this little guy.
Yeah.
For the people not in the car, there's a little wiener dog running down the side of the road.
Yes, just by himself.
He's gonna be our friend. We
Just running errands.
running
His day off.
Yeah. In the grocery store.
Aaron, when you're running errands, did you say I'm running me?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
People understand.
Yeah.
Were there any specific faith moments where that you can look back on it and remember your faith becoming more real or making it more your own?
Yeah, well, you know, the big thing starts with kind of a tragedy. My dad died when I was 10.
Wow.
So that was like the big shock to the system. I was living kind of the what would be what I considered to be a normal life at that point. And I didn't know a lot about his disease. I knew he'd been sick. I knew he'd had some challenges, but like when he died, it was like earth-shattering.
Yeah.
So that's really when the first big thing that happened is two uncles that were sort of on the edge of my life stepped in and became father figures for me. And then the church really surrounded me.
So Billiam. Do people call you Billiam?
No.
Ever?
No. Now
I think Billy is what we just learned.
That's not.
Was the moniker.
Yeah.
Would you describe what your faith looked like in middle school and high school? You mentioned a little bit in high school that it became your own faith, and that was something that I think we talk to our high schoolers a lot about in Christ churches. How do we make this not your parents' faith, but something that you profess?
Yeah,
but
personal. So
give us a little sense of what.
Yeah.
Your faith was like.
So probably if you just kind of shadowed me. Number one, I love just memorizing scripture. That was something that I got into, made little note cards. Second was I was a journaler. I still am a journaler. I love to take notes on stuff and write things down. And so, when I'd go to church, I'd take notes and listen to what the youth pastor said. And, when I hear you guys teach, that's what I love to hear. Listen to what God's speaking to you, because that brings back good memories. And I'll tell you, one of the interesting things about my spiritual life is my mom had a lot of help from the church. So she had, since she was a single mom at that point and decided not to remarry, we had like this little village. It takes a church to raise a Christian. So we had people our church had a big Wednesday night meal program, so they would sort of alternate. And I'm sure they had this all planned out, but to me it just seemed like life. They all like rotated who brought me to church and who picked me up from school and who got me from my grandmother's apartment to the school and they get me down, And all of that to me was, sort of like the parable Jesus talked about the man being lowered through the roof, that I was that man, They were like, okay, who's gonna pick Billy up for school, for church, and make sure he gets here, he gets home, gets on time, and that was me. That was my life. I know that's not the normal for everybody, but I look back and go, I didn't miss a thing. When the church doors were open, I was there. At home, I read the Bible. I prayed. I felt guilty if I didn't pray. So it was really a fun time of challenge and growth. Yep.
That's awesome. Tell us about your love for golf.
So my dad taught me how to play golf. One of the things that I still remember well from my childhood with him, and that was a special thing, a special memory, and so I've carried that forward. I don't play well. I play enough to play and have a good time, and then I've taught my boys how to play, and sort of they're Parker is much better than I am because he played on a middle school golf team.
Oh, cool.
And then Drake has picked it up. So that's just a fun. So.
Well, we'll see today how good you are. We're
Yeah,
about to go hit some balls.
yeah,
so
right. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll show you guys how good Bill really is.
Sure. Okay.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
Let's do it.
Bill's pretty good at golf, guys.
He hit some shots.
That's where
Pretty good. I'm
You've
pretty
heard
good at warming up.
we're gonna say that line.
If you've heard
Whether
of-
or not it's true.
If you've heard of Tiger Woods, guys, just imagine that, just a little shorter, with a redder hat.
Yeah.
And just perfect. As you think back over your story, your kind of life of faith, your journey that God's had you on, are there any specific scripture passages or verses that have been kind of foundational for you?
Yeah. I would really love Romans 8:28. We know that God causes all things to work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to His purpose. That has been a life verse for me. It doesn't mean that all things are good, just God works with all things and weaves them in and redeems even the pain and nastiness of our world and the things that happen.
As you reflect on your own life and all God's done with our students in mind, what is one challenge that you might want to leave them with as they move forward in their journey of faith?
And for our middle schoolers, I think one of the challenges I think is to get comfortable with creating a routine life of faith in the same way you brush your teeth and put on your clothes and comb your hair, realizing that the routine of faith is so critical and so key. I mean, the heroes you read about in the Bible, Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and Ruth and Mary and Naomi and Huldah, and these people did it every day. They, it wasn't like all of a sudden an angel came out of nowhere and said to Mary, "You're going to give birth to the God's son." The reason the angel came out of nowhere is because Mary was just devout. I mean, she was just always into it, so she was just available and ready. So when that happened, it was a huge surprise, but in hindsight, well, of course it'd be Mary because she was there. She was ready to listen. So my thing is, get comfortable with what you might consider to be boring. Be in church every week. Ask your parents to make sure that you don't miss cow. So with high schoolers, middle school doesn't have this as much, but I think in high school there's a tendency about 10th grade, 11th grade, everybody asks you the big where, what, why, and how. Where are you going to college? How are your grades? What are you doing? What's your SAT scores? And all of those are very interesting questions that are important to parents and important to jobs, but are not the most important questions of life. And so what I strongly encourage you to do is, if you don't have it all mapped out, that's good. And if your grades aren't as good as everyone else's, that's okay. Your worth and identity are based on how Christ called you and made you, and that is, He said you were very good. And to stay open to the spontaneous movement of God. That you don't have to know what your college major is as a freshman in college or as a high schooler. If you're coming up in October of your freshman year and you're still thinking about what college am I going to go to, or if I'm going to college, that is fine. Because there are a lot of people who do know, but there are a lot of people who don't. And not knowing is a great space for the Spirit of God to move in your life. Now I haven't found anybody in the Bible who where the Spirit moved and they knew ahead of time what was about to happen. You know, there has to be a mystery, and if your life isn't quite following the same path as the person next to you, that's okay. God's going to get you where He wants you to go. It's a matter of being open, available, vulnerable to, you know, so pay attention to where way closes behind you, and then you'll see more clearly where the way is opening in front of you. And so pay attention to when things don't work out. And in my case, I knew that I wasn't going to be a very good athlete or tennis player or anything like that.
Yeah.
But pay attention to your failures, because then you can turn around and see where the way, truth, and life, Jesus Himself, is opening up a path for you to live for Him.
That's a good word. Phil, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you guys.
It was a joy to spend the morning with you.
It's fun.